Welcome to another edition of Strange New Pod. I'm your Fleet Admiral and host, Julian Brown, alongside the best bridge crew this side of book, flirting with a Breen, because who doesn't want to flirt with those green one-eyed bastards? We
Who
love
doesn't
them.
like an oil bath, right?
No, I'd love a nice oil bath right now. I'm not going to lie. That sounds pretty damn good at the moment. Captain Hawk is here wondering how I made that edit happen. Hello, sir. You know
Genius.
exactly what I'm talking about. Sub-Commander Giraffe is here and thankful that someone remembered the pattern buffer trick. Am I right? Am I right?
Dude.
Dude, finally. Oh, man. And finally, Commander MC is here, almost certainly thinking of, speaking of Breen and, hooking up, thinking of a book Breen Commando / fic. You know it is true.
Thinking, having written.
Already wrote. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. Welcome back, guys. How are we doing? We don't need to lie either.
Garbage.
Yeah, garbage.
Garbage. Yes. I want this month to be over. I want this year to be over. I want everything. I want bring in the apocalypse. I think we're ready. Like,
I said you don't have to lie. I didn't say give us your deep, darkest, worst feels. Oh my God. Liz, we like
I'm
the
not
fireball.
that
Don't
bad.
worry. I'm not that bad either. I'm still just sick and single parenting, and it's been fun. Hawk, how you doing?
I'm doing actually surprisingly well.
Oh, that's good to
he-
hear.
it's his, that's his fault. He's like
He's sucking up all the good vibes.
speaking all. That's why we're all like.
Yum Yum Pod writes Giraffe's Manifesto. I mean, we could just do that as the show tonight.
Yes.
Here for it.
Here.
What's
for it.
wrong, Giraffe? Capitalism, late stage capitalism is wrong. I'm a millennial also. That's what's wrong.
I actually read an article today. Even though inflation is still on the rise, a bunch of stores like Walmart and Target are slashing thousands of their prices in the hope of like saying fuck you to inflation. So fingers crossed that shit keeps happening, because
It'll just stimulate the economy more.
yeah,
So,
well,
yeah.
shit's too
I'll listen.
expensive.
I'll go buy my latte and my avocado toast, and I'll
Like-
sit on the beach and watch it all burn.
That's the thing. Like, I can't complain. I'm still going to Starbucks like every single morning, and people are like, Julian, why don't you finish your coffee so quick? I'm like, because it's $7 and I want to enjoy it. God damn it.
Exactly.
It's true. So, what are we doing? What are we doing this week? It is, that's another reason we're sad. It is the penultimate episode of Star Trek Discovery. Not the season, the show. So, that sucks. Oh, yeah, Red Lobster is declaring bankruptcy. That's also news.
Yeah.
See?
It's all going down,
It's
baby.
all going down.
I blame
love it.
Hawk.
Yeah. Blame the hologram. So it is Discovery and her crew find the hidden progenitor tech, but not before Moll and the Breen also find it and just tractor it right aboard their dreadnought. Michael, Book, and Adira and Reese go undercover to try and take it back. Rayner earns the trust of the crew while making hard and crazy decisions, all culminating in Michael jumping into the portal. I think Eric the Red earlier today said this is the ascension. It's happening. Right into the portal too. I get we're assuming the progenitor tech. We're gonna break it all down, but first, Hawk, sir, since you're in the best mood out of all of us,
Yeah, make him work.
I'm making him work. He's working tonight. We need to thank our amazing Patreon Collective members at the Ready Room level and above, please.
Alrighty, we want to get out of there here fast tonight, so let's see how fast we can do this. Thank you to Simon Stager, Jeff Reed, Mariah Gossett, Tallulah, Jen Stein, Tina Alexander, Joe Saporito, Noe Santos, Kang Wee, Takako Nagumo, Fernando Nogales, SMK, Laura Linderman, Colin Davidson, Jess Coe, Michael Graham, Emily and Travis, Gildara, Cassie, Naynar, Anar, Maggie Light, Tyrannokilicus, Wayne Ritz, Scone of Arc, Sean, Jay Howard, Anna Yurdadon, Mahalani Uchiyama, Matt Harker, Davey Willett, Tara Pollen, Slope 74, Rude Parakeet, Joshua Miller, Aaron W., Lanky Guy, Carl Angoli, Michael Kwan, Meredith, Caitlin, Elizabeth Dean, Jim McMahon, Kilt Check, Sedano 317, Puka Hair, 3 Fry Short, Kate Tippy, Tripping the Reed Alert over a Pineapple, Sean Manning, Asher, CBF, Chris Waterman, RHCB, Martin Simpson, Norman Buckwald, David Prime Hildebrand, Taryn J. Robinson, Ensign Lexa Pro, Eric the Red Trouble, and Jamie Roberts.
Indeed. Thank you all so much. Also, a big thank you to our amazing Bad Rolls, our executive producers, Simon Stager, Commander Chris, the Chief Ernesto Castagna, Chris Waterman, and Tara Poland. You guys keep the lights on, our Spore Drive running, our Breen goggles glowing, all of that fun stuff. I think it was Tara who said earlier, speaking of patrons, she got distracted by the J.G. Hertzler interview and was a couple of minutes late, to which I say, I hope you all are.
We got distracted also.
We did. That is one of the craziest, most entertaining, most fun interviews that we've ever done on this pod. If you are a patron at the Ready Room level or above, you get the entire unhinged version of that without any edits. So God bless you. In all seriousness, JG is a national treasure. We are so excited to see him next week at Trek Long Island. Speaking of, we are basically a week away. It starts on Friday afternoon. We are all going to be there, judging from what's going on in the Discord collective. A massive bar is being planned at the Hyatt. So, you know, I know where I'm getting my drinks from. I'm also bringing beer from my brewery. So, you know, there's that. But yeah, Trek Long Island is next week. A lot of fun things planned, a lot of fun panels. Me and MC will be there. We will be in the vendors room on Saturday and Sunday. Make sure you check us out there. We won't be in Podcast Alley because, you know, it was an alley last year and we want to be seen. So you'll be able to just come say hi to us. We'll have someone at the table all the time. We'll have every sticker that we've ever made that I still have stock of, some pins that you can buy, that you can, you know, only exclusively get if you were a patron. So good reason to come to our table.
MC might have a little bit of a menagerie that people can buy as well.
Oh,
hint, hint.
Pay attention to that word, folks.
Maybe this will make a reappearance.
Who knows?
Perhaps.
And then we are planning something, and we need to hear from some of our fellow content creators. Starting at 6 p.m. a week from today, we are going to do an evening of Discovery because, spoiler alert, and we will not be saying anything about it tonight, but we have all seen the finale and
can't stop ourselves.
We could not stop ourselves. And we've decided that this show really needs a proper send-off and that just a 90-minute episode isn't going to do it. So from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., we are going to talk about some of our favorite moments over 5 seasons. We're going to have the last bits of my interview with Sonequa Martin Green and Wilson Cruz. We want to get our fellow Trek content creators and podcasters on. So if you'd like to reserve some time, DM us on any of our socials or email us at estrangenewpod@gmail.com. We want to talk to you. We want to maybe cry with you a little bit because it's going to get emotional next week, like for real. So yeah, an evening of Discovery, 6 to 9 p.m. and then 9:30 p.m. we will go back live with our review and deep dive of the finale. So Yum Yum Podcast, 90 minutes praising the Progenitors. That's right, praise be. Yes. Is that it? Heroes and villains. Yeah, Giraffe, hit it. You raised your hand. Do your thing.
Hey, no, I was gonna say I have news also, but like I'll do that too.
No.
As we were saying, yes, Julian.
We got disconnected for a second. So just give me 1 second before you keep going. Okay, we are back. Keep going. You're good. It's the Tal Shiar.
But if you're coming to the showing in LA, please come say hi. It's going to be amazing. As we're saying, we already saw the finale, but you need to experience it with a lot of people. Believe me. I know there are showings in New York also. So yeah, I think you can still find tickets maybe. That and Heroes and Villain.
That's a beautiful sweater you got on.
Thank you. You know, it's May Gray in California. So we're cold. So
wait, hold on. I know very well about June Gloom, but what is May Gray?
May Gray, June Gloom. Yeah, it's 2 months.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, where it's all gray, it's like all fall.
All right.
It's rainy, it's cold-ish. So yeah, you can also buy these beautiful sweater on Heroes and Villain, and you can use our code STRANGE for 20% off your first order, but not for the Canadians because they know what they did.
They know what they did. they have refugee holograms, and we don't like them. No kidding.
Yeah.
We love you, Hawk.
I don't know if Heroes and Villains at any cons this year. They usually at San Diego Comic Con.
I think they'll be there again. They would make sense with Acolyte coming
Yes.
out. Yeah.
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 So yeah, I don't think you can use the code is only for online. So
Yeah, for online. MC has the blue version of that sweater,
I
which is
do.
gorgeous. I'm wearing my Starfleet medical shirt today because Dr. Kolber has been giving me the whatever Starfleet equivalent is of Advil, cold, and sinus all week. So thank you, Starfleet Medical. I've been very sick. I'm still sick. We love you, Starfleet Medical. But you can get this shirt on Heroes and Villains as well.
and can I do a call for action?
I love calls for action. Hell yeah, let's do it.
Beginning of July, the first weekend of July, the 4th of July weekend, I will be at BayCon in San Francisco. I'm one of the guests, and I'm there to moderate panels for women in STEM, and we will talk Star Trek and science. I'm still looking for panelists, so if you're a woman or a non-binary friend and you're a scientist and you're into Star Trek, please DM me, find me on one of the platform, and come talk to me, especially if you're local. We'd love to meet more people and, create this little community of Star Trek and science.
Hey, love that as well. Awesome. Does anybody else have any news, things to get to before we get into this?
I am done.
You are done? I liked your call to action a lot. I'm stoked that you're going to San Fran. I want to go to San Francisco. I've still never been to Starfleet headquarters, so...
It's beautiful.
Karen's there right now. She actually just drove to Sonoma, but like she sent me a picture of her with like a beautiful background of the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm like, I hate you. Before we go any further, if you are watching, there are 20 of you and we only have 7 likes. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, give us the love so we show up in that algorithm. Oh, we should talk about that real quick. Good job, Matt Harker. That Academy announcement. Holly Hunter. The lead, the captain and chancellor of Starfleet Academy. I like this casting. I think I have a theory that she's going to be kind of like a Raynor type, like a burn captain that's got to get back to like teaching kids and is a bit of a hard ass. I like this casting a lot. Hawk's nodding his head.
Actress. She's a fierce actress. Personally, Raising Arizona, it's like one of the best comedic performances I've ever seen from an actor with her as Ed. So
I like it for the most part, but I still wish that we could get somebody who wasn't obviously going to be American.
Yeah, that's a good point. Unless she's not.
UMC.
Yeah, but I agree. I know, but it's Holly Hunter. She's going to have that. Yeah. Matt Harker, we don't know if she's human, do we? No, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not holding out hope for an alien. MC's kind of right. MC's kind of right on this one. Yeah. But a cool announcement. Also, if you're in the UK, you get to go see Star Trek 3 for its 40th anniversary. I'm very jealous because I've yet to see that in theaters. Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, back in theaters June 14th for its 40th anniversary.
Only in the UK?
Only in the UK. I know. It kind of stinks. Not going to lie. I want to see it. All right. Let's hit those personal transporters. Everybody do their boop, boop. Come on. Come on. Thank you. And it is Strange Dude Loop time. It's simple. It's easy. Would you have jumped in the portal at the end of the episode? That's simple. And why? Don't all go at once. Go ahead, MC.
If I was a member of Starfleet, like if I was Michael Burnham, then yes. But me as MC, absolutely not, because but I mean, I would not be in Starfleet anyways. So there is 2 answers for this, where it's like, if I were like brave enough to actually be a member of Starfleet, then yes, it's my fucking job to explore strange new worlds. And what's stranger than this portal? So, but MC likes her room. So
I like it. I like it. Who's next?
I listen. I always say that. I always think I'm Mariner, but deep down I'm Boimler. So I think I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, I'll go. But like deep down, I know I would not because no. I'm the kind of person that doesn't go and investigate the weird noise. I'm like, and I'm out.
No, you run
Thank
away.
you
You make
very
the smart
much.
decision.
I'm like
Mhm.
in my car and I'm like already on the highway while you guys are going down to the basement to see what noise is that, and I will tell the police that you were all stupid. So no, I've definitely not entered. I'll be helping you make the decision. I'll be Julian. Do it, Julian. You need to go. Go in
Oh
the
no,
car.
you're
Julian.
no. I already know what
Listen.
I'm gonna say. No, you're not gonna convince
I
me to
think
do it.
you should go to the portal.
No, no, thank
Because I
you.
want to know. It's like drama. Like I like knowing about drama. And I don't like being in the drama. Same thing. I want
you
somebody
can't
to go
convince
in,
them. You
but I
got to
don't want
push them.
Yes. Hawk.
Shiny green portal? Fuck yes, I'm going through.
Of
And that.
course
Let's
you
go.
are.
Let's go, Morty. That's fine. Let's go, Morty. We got stuff to do.
I love it. I love
Exactly. Hawk is white people in scary
it.
movies.
He literally is, going the opposite direction he should be going. It's absolutely true. Excuse me. So we have a lot of answers in the chat that came really fast. Let's see. Liz, yep. Colin, big no. Matt Harker, hell no. Jedi Cat 71 jumped into the portal, hell no. It's the Chief, absolutely. Any place is better than Staten Island. I don't know. Laszlo seems to like it. Jackie Daytona seems to like it. Nadja seems to like it. They like Staten Island. Yum Yum Pod Tarka would have. It's true, probably. Eric the Red, to quote Shaw, no. Tara, exactly what MC said. If I were Michael, fuck yes. Tina Alexander, Tina's in the chat. Hey, Tina, good to see you. Yes. Tara says, but if it was me, no. So a wide range of answers. Go ahead.
I would if I had like plot armor. Like I'm Pike. I know that's not how I die. I definitely jump.
You touched the time crystal and knew it wasn't your ending. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you don't jump through the portal, nobody advances the plot.
Yeah. Okay, so Benny from The Mummy.
Yes.
I'd be Benny, and I'd either like push someone in, or I'd have like O'Connell be the one like pushing me through.
Let me guess. Spring cleaning.
Bye, Benny.
Bye, Benny.
Bye, Benny. Yeah, I'd be Benny. I like to think I'm brave, but that shit would scare the fuck out of me, and I would pee my pants. So that's a no for me. But I would cheer you on. I would cheer you on.
Literally,
Hawk.
there are always people who are crazy enough to do the crazy thing. So you don't need to do it yourself. You just need to not be the craziest person in the group.
I agree.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't be the slowest. Don't be the craziest.
Jackie Daytona walks away from you. I love it. Yeah. The Chief already answered. He's getting out of Staten Island. He's going through the portal. I'm just gonna turn into a bat and fly away. Should we get into this thing? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Why not?
Well, then, it is our review and deep dive of Lagrange Point. And our order tonight is going to go Giraffe, MC Hawk, followed by
Oh,
myself.
fantastic.
If you're wondering where Vice Admiral Eric is, he's on the night off. He did go into the portal.
He jumped through
He
right
jumped
away.
through.
Mhm.
So we're still looking for him. Yeah, I'm sure we will see him for the finale. Winner. With Discovery needing repairs and a spore jump, yeah. Sorry, I totally messed that up. A spore jump that lands the ship into a set of binary black holes, which is wild. Or I think Tilly called them primordial black holes.
Mhm.
So like Dawn of the Universe black holes is pretty much.
This feels like words just being thrown out
It
that
sounds
don't
like
actually mean anything.
It sounds like tillying. Yeah. Eric would take one last lick of ice cream and dive in. That's exactly what happened.
Yes.
He ate an ice cream
Yeah.
cone and dove. Yeah. So yeah, they land in these binary black holes. Michael and the crew are in the middle of trying to figure out how to get the damn thing because it's in like a capsule that looks very Borg, by the way.
Does.
Take that back.
I said it and I won't. So that is until Moll and the Breen show up and literally just take it for themselves. Like they're talking and the Breen are like, oh, thanks, that's ours now. Because they also don't know Discovery's there. What do we think about this little wrinkle and what it sets up for the rest of the episode, Jeff?
Lisa,
No.
I need to put you into my mindset when I watch this episode, because we watched it, we didn't have the finale, right? And I was like, it's episode 9, right? It's episode 9. So it's like there's not a lot of time left. And so first of all, I was very happy that we were like finally having something, that it's a thing, it exists. It's not, I mean, it's an object that they can see. I think the binary black holes, like the binary stars,
Someone just said that in the chat. Yeah.
like
Mhm.
I was like, okay, I see you, Star Trek, with
Oh.
like your like, you know,
Full circle.
Just got that.
bookends,
For the series.
metaphors or whatever. I have no idea what primordial. I think they're very, very old. I suppose everything is old in the universe, so I was not shocked. I was like, okay. I was just stressed of having all these people so close from like black holes. I was like, why are you all hanging there? Like, just take the thing and go. I like the fact that this beginning of this episode moves fast. Because if there's one thing I hate is like there are 3 minutes and then 15 minutes later you're still in these 3 minutes. So yeah, they talk too much and they got screwed. I was here for that. I think it's interesting how that thing is like in suspension in between black holes. Is that a thing? Is that possible? I feel it's not.
I feel like it's not, but if it's like but doesn't it have to do with the Lagrange point that it could be there? I guess they tried to explain.
Listen,
It's all very like science stuff that I don't try to understand.
You know, I was like, but I was like, okay, I don't want to think. So I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Suspension of disbelief. I like it.
Exactly.
MC.
And I'll say this, and I'll think this will be my answer to a lot of this episode. I felt a lot of this was set up because it's like, this is episode 9. Of course, we have to have Moll and the Breen tractor this thing in because, you know, they have to have it at one point because things have been going way too well for Discovery so far at them getting everything. Yeah, we have to have our little darkest moment. But it did feel like to me that a lot of this was set up.
We have to be careful.
Well, no, I mean that's not. I'm
But
not.
it's
even,
true.
I'm
I mean,
not-
but
feeling
it is a
set
setup.
up. I
It
agree.
100% is a setup. Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're like broken, but we're like broken just enough to make us slow, and like, and the
Yeah.
thing is here, but it's here far enough that we can do it, and then it's like just like, okay, we're creating problems.
yeah.
Yeah. Just real quick, Hawk, before you go, Tara has the explanation, which does explain why it's able to be there. Lagrange points are positions in space where the gravitational forces of a two-body system like the sun and Earth produced in enhanced regions of attraction and repulsion. So kind of like a magnet, right? So
Oh yeah, I know that. It's just like
yeah, I didn't.
black
so,
holes are
cool.
insane.
Yeah, they're mad. They're
Like,
crazy.
this is
So
what-
it does
between
make sense
planets,
that
I'd be
if
like,
it could
absolutely.
stay there, though. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but black holes scare me.
They scare
I
the
don't
fuck
want
out
to
of
think
me.
about this.
I don't either.
They give me like, existential dread.
That's why I won't watch
Um,
Interstellar anymore. That movie freaks me
I
out.
want to know about this. I'm nothing.
Yeah. Hawk, go ahead.
I like this intro. I thought it was good. It's concise and it really gets to the point very quickly in that. Yeah, they're in a bad way in that, but they still hold together long enough to make that rough landing, basically in the circular rings of the binary star black holes that they do. This is quite the cinematic environment, and not knowing anything about the finale, I know this is the last stand and that, and what an environment to do that in, right? I like the reference back to the first season and the Battle of Fiery Stars and that. But personally, I also think it's a bit of a nod to Battlestar Galactica as well, and their finale, which took place near a black hole.
That, and I mean, I couldn't watch this episode and not think about Memento Mori from Strange New Worlds and fighting the Breen in the black hole, you know, and like Enterprise pulls off a very similar maneuver that Discovery pulls off in Labyrinths, you know. It's all new Trek kind of connecting in fun, cool ways. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks great while it does it too.
I mean, it
so.
does. Yeah. I really liked the visual effects for this, and seeing like the ship try to escape, and the fact that it's cloaked, but you could see the cloak kind of like stuttering and shimmering because of all these gravitational forces like pulling against the ship. I thought that was really cool. I couldn't help but laugh out loud when Moll and the Breen show up and just take the damn thing. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that was expected though. I
don't know if I don't know if it was. Go ahead.
I mean, it wouldn't be much of a finale if they just Discovery managed to just grab it and go and get the heck out of there. And that the Breen had to acquire it at some point, and it had to become that precious.
No, fair. To answer David's question, no, I was comparing the Gorn battle from Memento Mori of Strange New Worlds and the black hole to what Discovery's been doing with the Breen and Labyrinth and this episode. So no, not a mistake on my part. I don't know. I just thought it was really funny because they're all on the bridge like, well, what if we do this? And what if we do that? And they literally just take it. It's funny. Like it's a Frakes episode too. So I think he meant to do it.
Oh yeah.
They're broken. Their things are not
exactly
working. That's why you need a grappler.
I love grapplers.
Yeah.
We love grapplers.
We love them.
Yeah. Anyway, I laughed out loud a little bit. But it was fun. And of course, Michael, again, it was just like, well, we're going to just have to find a way to get it back. And it goes to the credits. And I'm like, this is such a Frakes episode, and it's funny. And maybe it was a little ha-ha funny. I don't know. It threw me off a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, exhaust ports. What is this? Star Wars? I made a bad joke. I'm sorry. But it's true. It's true. Let's talk about we're going to talk about the entire thing, the entire undercover arc with Michael, Book, Adir, and Reese donning the Breen suits to try and get a transporter lock, which is Adira's idea, on the capsule. So they take a shuttle through the Dreadnought exhaust port, which just I could not help but think of Last Jedi. It was so Last Jedi. Adir is a badass in this episode. Michael and Book may be showing some signs of repairing their relationship. Also, I will not get over Book flirting with the Breen. I thought it was probably the best part of the episode. Trying to stall Moll, and finally Moll unmasking them. What did we think about the whole undercover batshit crazy plan and everything that went down, Giraffe?
So, I mean, when they were like, let's find a way to take it back, that was my last idea. It's like, okay. It's all, it's all very, again, suspension of disbelief. Sure, there's a hole. Sure. There's no scanning of anybody. Sure, they don't need any, I was like, I'm here for the ride. Listen, there's 2 episodes left. I just want these guys to hurry the fuck up to finish that story with time to spare, because I still want to see that wedding and stuff, so I'm like, hurry, get it done. So I'm not gonna lie, at this point I was like, oh my god, we're gonna spend 1 full episode on the Green ship, which is something I didn't want to watch, to be honest. As much as the Breen are cool, and I don't know, I'm not super interested in them. They're very flat.
I was actually thinking of making the Stranger Loop tonight a whole season Stranger Loop. If you could have chose the Breen to be any other villain for the seasonal arc, who would it have been? Because I know we keep talking about whether the Breen are interesting. Go ahead.
non-unified Romulans. We know they're out there.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised?
Of course. I mean, they they don't say it, but they like clearly hint at the fact that like there's still some Romulans like roaming somewhere.
Oh, you know there's a
that are
Tal
not-
Shiar somewhere still.
They're not unified with Nivar. They're like causing chaos over there. And it starts with the Romulans. Like, I'd be like down for them actually being it's ours. But anyway, I like undercover shenanigans, especially because for some reason nobody reads the briefings and nobody knows what the hell they're doing, and nobody like they're just going like, you know, in French we have an expression, doing something with your dick and your knife.
Oh, you've
Which
said
is,
this
like,
a couple
totally-
times. Yeah.
Yeah, totally unprepared and just like chaos. I was like, that's pretty much this. But I like also how some like when we see the Breens as a group, they all kind of look the same size and shape and, you know, height. And then you have Sonequa Martin Green, who's like 5'2". And you're like, and nobody is like, what's up with that
Aren't
Breen
you a
over
little
there?
short for a Breen Trooper?
And the other thing that cracks me up is like I thought I understood that Breens were liquid inside of their thing,
I
but then
think
we're not
translucent more than anything
Like
else.
jelly.
like
yeah.
Jello, like jello, like
Yeah.
they're like kind of like relaxing, like what's his name in the Orville?
Oh, Yaphet.
Yaffet. Yeah, that's
Oh.
how I imagine them. Like just put their
Norm.
suit and inside they
Norm.
relax, you know? They don't have to take a solid form. So I was like, why some Breen having like breastplate as like woman human? So I had a lot of reflection with myself and the costume on that thing. I think it was funny. I think, but again, that would have been perfect for episode 5, not episode 9.
Mhm.
I think we all, you especially kept on referring to like, this was another episode 5. This was another episode 6. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah. A couple of comments in the chat before you go, MC. Yum Yum Pod wrote, very funny that they have a heart-to-heart when there's no time for it.
That's when you have a heart to heart.
That's when you have a heart-to-heart. I'll give Yum Yum Pod a double here. Twist, but make it Vulcan logic extremists. Like that.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Well, keep going. Your turn, MC.
Yeah, I would have gone with the Vulcan logic extremists because I'm me and I feel that way about the Vulcans that Draft does about the Romulans. But on this comment about, you know, the feminine breastplates, like, I mean, I don't care if they're made of liquid. Like, no matter what, like, Star Trek's gonna have an alien species with
You gotta have a
mammalian
boob plate.
Boobs.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's
3
amazing
of
that they
them.
didn't build in a boob window. I mean, if we're being serious.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of this was having Reese get out there.
Yes.
Yep.
You know, this is one of our few you know, like bridge members that is not a part of the main cast that is still around since apparently Awoshikun and Detmer are still on their honeymoon. So I like giving him something to do this close to the end. I mean, it's the Breen. Like, you've got a species that is the one thing that they've always been known for is wearing like these suits. You've got to have the main characters get into them at some point. But yeah, I agree. This is not an episode 9 thing. This is an episode 5 thing. And I think part of that is because the Breen didn't come into this for so long. Like when did we actually, I'm trying to go back in my head. When did the Breen actually really get established as like the bad guys of the season? Was it like episode 6 or 7?
Episode 6, because episode 5 it was a time jump one and they just see
Yeah.
the green ship, but like
Yeah.
they don't know what's going down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they like dropped some like little mentions of the Breen like earlier, but I really feel like something more like this. I mean, maybe not with like it leading to people jumping through portals, but you know, infiltrating the Breen is something that probably should have happened earlier. I mean, book flirting with the Breen was absolutely the best thing about this episode, and just shows how charming David Ajala is, that he can even flirt through a Breen suit.
He's that good.
Get
He is that good.
Jello, baby.
Oh, it wiggles.
JELLO.
And I kind of, I mean, I wasn't on the last episode, so I didn't get to talk about this. Moll, now that Locke is gone, I have some issues with, I don't know if it's issues with the writing or if it's with the acting. I can't figure out really what it is, where I'm not really buying the passion, I guess. She feels kind of like a wet, angry cat to me, where where she's really upset, but in the end, it's not all that threatening. I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that she looks like every generic, science fiction girl with like the platinum blonde bob and the smoky eyes. But yeah, I don't really buy her as like the big bad leader of these Breen. And I feel bad about that. I don't want to feel like that. And I've had no problem with the acting before that when she was Buck. I thought she was fine, but it feels like she's kind of getting lost.
I think she stopped being relatable for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand her motivations anymore. I mean, okay, again, I don't know. No guy is that good. Come on, like, you're queen of the Breen now. Like, scheme, do something. I don't know. Don't be like, but my husband.
I need to put him in the
Like-
pattern buffer.
Oh yeah. I mean, they could have done that before he died, maybe.
Ooh,
You would think.
plot hole.
Yeah.
Plot
Yeah.
hole, like giant plot hole. But anyway, yeah. Agreed.
Were you good, MC?
I was good.
Just Hawk, real quick. I want to read Dave Hildebrand's comment. I honestly thought that Reese was going to die when he fought the Breen at the end of the episode. I did too. I 100%,
Yeah.
because he was defending Adira. I was like, he's going to sacrifice himself. We're going to lose
No.
someone that we barely know.
Yeah. And he's the
And-
one not in the credits. So
Yeah. I'm glad that they did not do that, because that would have been fucked. Hawk, go ahead.
Yeah, as far as the Breen, they would have been a better villain if they weren't introduced so late. So yeah, MC, you're absolutely right. They were introduced as like, the villain of the series and that, but far too late into it to really be kind of effectively scary. The Breen kind of coasted a lot on just that, the fact that they were this faceless race, that they all wore the same uniform. Their voices were their manner of speaking was indecipherable to us. But if you're going to linger this long on such a main villain species in Star Trek, I think you need to do a bit more in establishing like their culture and everything behind them and that, because it's like getting to know our villains was the best part about the Romulans or the Klingons. But I'm not feeling it with the Breen. That a lot of the structure just seems to be kind of their society just seems to be kind of generic. It's like houses fighting each other and that, Imperiums, Primarchs, and that. It's like it falls a bit flat. I wish they had kind of better writing about them as a villainous race for the series before kind of establishing them as the main bads for the season, because Moll is definitely not in the bad guy category anymore. In that, more protagonist, but that's about it.
I think you said it, faceless. The Primes they're faceless. Like
Yeah.
when you have the Klingons, you have your favorite Klingon because they look a certain way, and you see them like doing wings and like looking at each other. You can see they doubting. You can see them being angry. Same with the Romulans. You're like, who's for the thing, who's scheming behind. But there, it's just like a bunch of suits, and you're like, I can't even recognize which one is the one that was kind of nice to Moll. Like, who is who, you know? And yeah, and they can't act. It's
No.
hard in like these giant suits. So kind of like the Daleks in Doctor Who, like I don't care for them at all. I'm like,
I love the Daleks and that.
no, they're fun, but like they don't have personalities. You know what I mean? They're just
And the thing is on
Stuff.
Doctor Who that they don't actually really try to do that with the Daleks, where like there's one episode where they do have like a Dalek with personality, but it's different. But usually they're just, pepper pots that shoot things. And
Mhm.
the Breen, they're trying to establish them as the species. And I think you're really right. And it actually ties in with my comments about Moll. We don't know enough about the Breen to really understand why the Breen would follow her. Like, yes, she was married to, I guess, their emperor or whatever. However it works, I don't understand enough how it works to buy that this would be a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I do wonder, sorry, Hawk, I do wonder if they're going to come into play somehow in Starfleet Academy. But we'll see. Go ahead.
So yeah, moving on. Michael and Book are definitely showing signs of repair in that, even before their little conversation in the hallway and that, and in Breen outfits and that. There was that look in the engine room of that. Books is repairing the spore drive. Michael shot him this lingering gaze, and it was, because they didn't really have a chance to discuss anything after the library and that. It was just kind of go and that, and she's still processing everything that happened to her while she was in the mind labyrinth. So yeah, I totally see it for them. Glad to see Adira going on their first mission. They've really come a long way since the cadet crash of season 4, right?
Yeah, they really have.
Yeah, I just wish Paul wasn't being such like a mother hen and that.
He
Danger's
can't
part of it.
help
I
it.
know the danger's a part of it. They got to grow up sometime.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I like Giraffe said, undercover shenanigans, and I forget who said it earlier in the chat, but the way it was filmed and everything had like very Ocean's 11 vibes, which is also like a Jonathan Frakes trait. I thought it was really well directed. I couldn't escape the Star Wars of it all. Like I really couldn't, and it really bothered me. Like from the exhaust port to and the way that the Breen ship looks like the inside, except green, of an Imperial Star Destroyer or the Death Star, it all kind of threw me off. And the Breen are kind of like stormtroopers. Their aim is horrible, and I don't know.
They're easily confused.
They're
apparently.
easily confused, and
they all look the same.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I was actually like very thrown out of this episode a little bit. Y'all know me though. I'm a hopeless romantic, so I loved the No Time for It book and Michael conversation, even if it made no sense at like that very moment. Reese getting time is great. There's so much. Moll. I don't have as big of a problem with Moll as you guys. She serves her purpose, and that's what you kind of need to get to the finish line. As shitty as that sounds, she's getting the job done. Was Locke a more interesting character? I think so. Because I hate, again, to make the Star Wars comparison, but we said it for the first episode and on. She's like Shati from Ahsoka.
Shin
like
Hati, yeah.
Shin Hati, thank you. Like a very similar character, very similarly acted, very similar look.
Angry. You have to be angry, apparently.
Yeah.
Although I kind of do understand the look now, and that why they kind of made her look a lot like Pris from Blade Runner, and that
Yeah.
she and Locke are looking for more time.
No, they are. And
But
again, yeah, go ahead.
I think if Locke would have been here, I think together they create more motivations that make more sense. I feel that to like just her by herself, I feel that having her just trying to get her man back for 4 episodes in a row. Well, how
Yeah.
many
No,
episodes has it been?
it's like 2 or 3. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
else,
it's-
like nobody's a monolith. Like she doesn't have anything else. She doesn't have any other motivation, any agenda, any
Well,
other plans.
and, And that's a great point, Giraffe, because she also does have someone who's trying to connect with her. Like, she has Book in a way, right? And I feel like the points that Book brings up about Cleveland and about her upbringing and just like him and like what their relationship could be, it's like she doesn't have to be alone. She doesn't have to be angry. Like, Starfleet did try to help her. Like, I don't know. I think,
But it all comes from other people. It
Yeah.
never comes from her.
Yeah.
The thing that comes from her is, I want Lack
Yeah.
back. And I'm like, okay, what do you think about Book? Like, tell me about, like, you know, how you feel about this story. Yeah, what would you do if he's back? Like, I don't know, like, expand the realm of like what you're saying. I feel she's not saying anything anytime, and that all the time she's kind of like flat because it's always the same thing. And I'm just like, nobody only wants one thing.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was something I think I brought up in like the first episode with them, where it was like I didn't like that, you know, Moll. It seemed like so much, like even her connection with Book bothered me because it seemed like Moll wasn't really so much developed as a character as much as she was developed as an attachment for other characters.
Right.
And I think now that we're seeing her on her own, we're seeing kind of the holes in that she is not fully developed as a character. And I'm not willing to accept the whole she will get us across the finish line, because yes, of course she'll get us across the finish line. But it upsets me that, you know,
I get what you're saying.
the final, you know, female antagonist is somebody who does to me come off like an angry wet cat because she doesn't have any motivation outside of her man's and her father issues and her adopted brother issues or whatever.
Yeah.
A father, a brother, and a lover.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a son, but there's only this missing.
There's so much in the chat
That we
I
know
want,
of. I mean, who knows what'll happen in the next episode? Maybe there's a secret son.
There was a comment that I wanted to read. Oh yeah, and this goes along with what we've been saying from Yum Yum Pod, but that's the problem with Discovery baddies. They just serve a basic purpose with very little to them. Which,
well, Tarka was not like that.
yeah, I think, and we know how Yum Yum Pod feels about Tarka. Like, Tarka was a good villain.
I like Tarka because Tarka had like different, like, I don't know, different wants. He had one main want, but there were like other thing going on. And same for Syra, to be honest. Like, she was not a great villain, but at least she was not.
You know what though, Giraffe? You're right though.
All the time, huh?
No, you're right though. I'm saying you're right, because had they focused more on Osira and not on fucking Su'Kal, it could have actually been interesting. But they did the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that. At least with Tarka, you know, among his motivations, he also, at the core, knew he was an egotistical narcissist. You know, he knew he was right. Moll is a lot harder to define as a character. Is she a bad person? Is she a good person? You know,
Is she hurting for other thing than just
yeah.
she lost her husband?
And I mean, like, the funny thing is, Tarka was somebody who wanted to get back to his mans too.
Yeah.
But there were so many more layers onto it.
Yeah.
I don't really have much else to say. Like, I listen, and like, I also don't want to be like poo-pooing on this episode because I thought it was a fun episode.
So
like,
do I.
It's a good episode 6.
Again, like it's a good episode 6, and I liked a lot of what it had to offer. But this, like, the undercover stuff and kind of how it all kind of came together between the Star Wars and just some of the way it was written, just like threw me out of it a little bit. As we sorry. I'm sorry, guys. My daughter just texted me something really funny, and I sorry. I'm uber distracted now. As we saw all episode, Moll was sending lackeys into the portal, right? Which Yum Yum Pod also. I'm sorry, lackeys. Yeah, lackeys. But that's the thing. I hate to single out Yum Yum Pod all night, but they're bringing up great points in the chat. Like, all of a sudden, you know, because Moll was married to Locke, like they just accept all of her orders now and go through random portals because why not? But they at this point they are her lackeys. So sending them through the portal, having no idea where it goes. Then she goes through because I gotta go save Locke. And as Discovery's doing the whole like pew pew ramming speed, which was fucking cool by the way. Michael being Michael.
That was awesome.
It was fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Michael being Michael does her leap of faith thing that she does once a season and also goes through. What do we think about her decision making here, Giraffe?
So first of all, the whole portal thing kind of cracked me up because nobody wants to go in. And you know, like that species that we've like been told that hate foreigners and are super closed and do not want anybody else taking order from Moll for no good reason at all. Crack me up. And I like the guy who mistakenly go in and then they tie up one guy and it was like so Indiana Jones, you know, the like tying you up and like throwing, and then you just have like the cord like I'm like, yeah, that is dumb. But the leap of faith of Michael was like less a leap of faith than for, you know, Moll, because she knows something that we don't know. Like we don't know what she knows about like what's on the other side, but she very obviously knows something.
We're talking about Michael, right?
Michael, yeah.
Well, yeah, because we know that from Labyrinth that she got that last last hint. Yeah.
She gets information about what she needs to do, so she knows it's safe-ish, that it's going somewhere. I think.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that.
It's not like a total leap of faith. She knows, she has instruction of what she needs to do.
Yeah, but she, even though you kind of have an idea of what you're after, you have, like, with all the crazy tests that they've been through, you have absolutely no idea what you're walking to. It's like going through the Stargate for the very first time.
But you're talking about a woman who like jump 1,000 years.
That's what
in
I'm
the
saying.
future.
It's her leap of faith thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. No.
I think she's the perfect person to do it. I think for her it totally makes sense. I always think of like Spock telling her in season 2, you know, that she doesn't exist if she's not saving something. Her pathological need to save everybody or something like that. So
exactly.
Like, yeah, I mean, that's a constant. We like her for that, because definitely I wouldn't be the one jumping. So I'm happy she's doing it because I want to know. All good.
Jedi Cat writes, what if Cisco's in the portal?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I'd scream.
Shut up. And it's green, so you know it must be the Borg.
And you told me to take it back? Come on.
But I mean, I think it was kind of Clune-esque, that whole like portal thing with people getting like sucked into the portal was kind of made me laugh, to be honest. Like the
it was funny.
Yeah. I just feel like I was expecting the whole thing to be the beginning of the episode, you know? So we could see what happens next. But the big thing was Discovery basically like violating a Breen ship. Which I did not expect. I mean, they have done this season crazy things with these ships. Like between stopping an avalanche.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
I loved this so much.
Breaching into a cargo bay with a whole ass ship is crazy behavior. It's insane. And like they managed to know that that's what she meant by like, there's a lot of people being like, I read between the lines. Which like good, because I never told you to do that, but whatever. But that was a cool sequence. I think like the action sequence have been very good. It's very cinematic again, and it's very bold, and I definitely enjoyed that scene because I wanted, when everybody starts like floating, I'm like, yeah, that's cool, you know, let's go.
Yeah. MC.
yeah, the lackeys going through that portal was just, it was so, just, that was up there with Book flirting with the Breen, like the funniest part of this episode. And yeah, Michael going through. I mean, of course, Michael is going to take that leap of faith. Like I've been waiting for I guess I've been waiting for this episode because we knew at some point Michael was going to have to jump into something, into the unknown, especially with kind of all of the sorry, cats are fighting. The kind of the religious overtones that have been in this whole progenitor thing, that we need her to take this, I have no idea where I'm going, but I'm going to go through it anyways. Sorry.
Let them fight.
One of them tore the other one's ear, so I'm not going to do that. It's exactly what Michael has always done before. So of course it's what Michael's going to do now. It's what I think of her decision. It's like, this is the pure Michael Burnham. I wouldn't expect anything less.
As Tina Alexander writes, Michael has faith of the heart.
Go stand in the corner and think about what you did.
Tina, you get one of these. Hold on.
Get off my bridge.
There you go. Oh, Hawk.
Yeah, I see it less as faith in that. I mean, we're all familiar with cowboy diplomacy at this point, of course. This is cowboy logic in that. This is the decision-making process that went into it, and that there was no way she wasn't going into that portal, and that, especially with Moll and the Breen already inside. But she based her decision based on on everything that she's found up to this point, and that, knowing that, if she solved all these clues, she did the work. And there was a whole point to that work, and that the right person had to be able to find, to be the one to find this, So of course that, it's a portal. That's not going to stop her. She's going to, at this point, there was really nothing for her to lose. So partly faith, but I like to think of it as cowboy logic.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
I like that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's the least shocking thing of the entire episode, and it takes you into the finale, right? Like that's exactly like what you need to do. I like it, and this isn't meant to be silly, or I mean, it is silly, or to shit on the episode, because I genuinely loved it. But the reason I love Michael going to the portal so much is because it gives us something that we get once a season, and it's the way that David Ajala screams, "Michael!" and you get one every season, and we got one right after she jumped in, and it warmed my heart so much, because you're like, ah. I love it.
It warmed other places on me.
It was just
oh.
Okay.
Oh.
We were just missing a 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah, right. a little push.
Are we going on 3 or are we going on go? 1, 2. Go. Well, I guess we're going on 3 then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna end up in the room where Boimler ended up after he got blown up on the Black Mountain in the beginning. Jin Kang Rhodes. Yeah, Cosmic Koala.
Yes!
Exactly. Yep.
The thing that is cool, I would just add, is that we know that Michael thinks that the only other person that could figure out whatever is happening is Moll. Like, she knew the Breen could not, they asked her, can the Breen find it? And she was like, no. What about Moll?
Right.
And it's the 2 person that are in there. So I feel like, the stakes are pretty high.
And a couple of Breen lackeys. Yeah.
Who are going to be the red shirts, you know that.
Of course.
You need a mandatory, sacrificial Breen.
Whatever's on the other side, they're already dead, I'm sure.
Sacrificial stormtrooper.
Exactly.
Sorry, quickly, you know what it reminded me of? Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, when they kept sending those guys through.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. But yeah, you were right.
That's what I was saying. They're super Indiana Jones, where they just throwing the people, and their head come back.
Oh God.
That was only making me think of that scene. Yeah. Just go in. Go.
Yeah.
Go see what's up there.
Moving on, Rainer and Tilly talk about being in a foxhole together. Michael and Co are on board the Breen Dreadnought. Rayner is in command of Discovery and selects Tilly. Tilly gets to be XO again, which I thought was lovely, by the way. Nothing is forced here through these 9 episodes, right? Rayner has earned the respect and trust. It's always been a focus of each episode of this crew, and handles himself so well during this whole thing, leading to a great convo with Tilly, right? Because they're all like, "You're pacing, dude. It's making people uncomfortable. Like, we respect you. We trust you. Sit in the fucking chair." But yeah, that he has that respect and that he can sit there. Like, what did we think about Rayner in this episode and the way that he carried himself, Giraffe?
I think, he's being Rayner since the beginning. We just see him being more settled and more like being back to the Rayner we saw in the first episode, was it?
Yeah.
So I feel it has like he had a very good arc. Like, he solved things, he's more settled, he's more sure of himself. I don't know. I don't understand why people are so pissed about him not sitting in the chair. Let the man do whatever he wants. Like, if he wants to be standing, what does it change? Like, I don't know. I understand, but I found it a bit weird. Like, I'm a person who never sits in any chair, so I sit on tables, I sit on the floor. But I think he's like the perfect. I buy him more. I'm gonna make so many enemies right now, but I buy him more as an EXO and like as like somebody who has the con than Saru.
Oh, I completely agree with you.
Thank you. I was like, I'm gonna get murdered.
I completely agree with you.
Like,
I never liked the Michael Saru captain dynamic. I thought it was too mushy.
That's
and
when people
comfortable.
are like, write Saru as captain on this Discovery. Yeah, technically, but Rayner is more of a badass, and he's more of a a presence in the like a leader on the bridge than Saru was ever, in my opinion.
I think Rayner's a more I'm gonna make enemies too. I think Rayner's a more interesting character than Saru, especially this season, and dare I say season 4, like Saru.
Well, you've made a powerful enemy today.
Wow.
Yeah,
and it's me.
I think Rayner, with that militaristic background that he has, Starfleet is not the military.
Like that it is.
But kind of are.
Take that back. So I feel he gives a better counterpart to Michael than Saru did. They're friends. Like, Saru and Michael are too alike. They share the same kind of like growth and grieving their people and like taking leap of faiths. They have like these kind of like parallel dynamics. When Rayner is not, like, when he's on the bridge, I'm like, what is he gonna do? What that motherfucker gonna do? And I like that feeling. When Saru, I'm like, oh, he's gonna do the logical thing, He's not gonna do something crazy like ramming like a spaceship into the floor. Rayner will, and I'm here for that.
Yeah, agreed. MC?
I mean, we've liked Rayner every week. Like, Callum Keith-Rennie is just so good in this. I do agree that he is a more natural fit on the bridge than Saru. I like Saru in the position that he's in now. Saru makes a great ambassador.
Yeah. Yep.
A badass ambassador. As for like Rayner not sitting in the chair, I am somebody who also is weird about chairs. It's the whole bisexual sprawl thing. But when it comes to the chair on the bridge of a starship, it is not just a place to put your ass down. It is a symbol.
Thank you.
It is something that has come up in every single Star Trek show. The fact that Rayner wasn't willing to sit in the chair says something. And him pacing is putting everybody, on edge, because pacing is a very nervous tick, and you don't want your commanding officer to seem nervous. You want them to be in complete control. And the chair is part of that, because you're right in the center of the bridge. You're the one giving the commands to everybody, and when you're the captain sitting in the chair, you're a part of the ship. So I think that's kind of what Tilly was going for with that. I really like Tilly and Rayner together. Like, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
Let's get, like, we've only had like one season of Rayner. Let's get him on a Starfleet Academy. Like, maybe not like as a regular, but have him turn up every once in a while.
Rayner spinoff. I'd watch a Callum. I'd watch a Callum Keith Renee Star Trek spinoff in a heartbeat. I don't care.
Well, I mean,
I know I don't want to
appear
be
on
like the
Starfleet
Star Trek
Academy.
legacy after Picard. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I caught myself.
Yeah, we'll have him appear on Starfleet Academy a few times, and then maybe we can build up to his, his own show where he's like getting his own ship back and like redeeming himself or whatever.
I feel like Star Trek shows centered around the captain. I think we can start doing other things now.
Done to death.
I
at this point.
agree.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
right? I mean,
I think
there's a
that's why
lot
Starfleet
now.
Academy is going to be interesting, right? Because
Yeah.
Yep.
Or even Lower Decks. It's not centered
no,
around
true.
the captain.
Exactly.
Yep.
Or Prodigy. See, like these shows where it's not like one man on the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still want my political Federation show. So
I'm saying Rome, HBO Rome, but make it Romulus.
You and
will
I should
preach
still
this
write that series
till
draft.
it
Yeah, I would like it.
happens.
MC, were you good?
I'm good.
Hawk.
Rayner has been a real treat this season, and this episode no less. It's a pity it's almost over in that, because I do want to see more of him in that. I don't know about a whole series, but definitely I do want to see a book come out in the future on him. I like the evolving connection with Michael as her number one. It's been great. It's one of the highlights of the season. It's been paying off in dividends in that, especially at the end of the episode, and that that shorthand they develop is something like a captain and XO have to kind of get down over a long period of time.
That's the thing that kills me, is that like we had. Sorry to interrupt you. Like they had a season of Michael and Saru and Michael Saru's bullshit in season 3, and then you finally give her an interesting first officer, and we're getting to know. I'm gonna make so many enemies saying this. A maybe more interesting bridge crew than the characters that we already had, and we're getting to know them, and they're fun, and Rayner's amazing, and the show's over.
Why said something so brave, yet so controversial? Jillian. I low-key agree with you.
Thank you.
Like, kinda.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
And it's ending, and that sucks, because I'd watch like 5 more seasons of the Michael and Rayner show. Yeah. Sorry, Hawk, continue.
No worries. Don't know much more to say. Are we talking about the last?
We're going to talk about the bomb bag go through the cargo bay shit in a second.
Which I already did. Sorry, I blew through it.
Whatever. It's
That's okay. I do want to add that like season 1, Tilly would have been scared and confused by that foxhole joke. I love her seeing her smile back at it, like haha. She's also been great this season too, and that
Where's her husband though? Like they tease us, and then like her boyfriend.
Yeah,
the hot stuff. Come on.
Maybe they're saving that for the Academy.
Hey. I don't really know what else I could say. I am like such a stan for Callum Keith Renee. I thought he kicked ass. I thought everything that Draft said and MC said about the bridge and the chair and it being a symbol goes all the way back to season 3, and a conscious decision that Sinequa Martin Green and the character of Michael made when given command to go to the seed ship, never to sit in the chair, is the same decision that Rayner was making, because they were both XOs and felt like they hadn't earned it yet. It's like the parallel, it's the mirror between these two characters, and I think it's beautiful. Then again, and to say, like, I do like that he sits in the chair at the end of the episode, because he is a former captain and he has earned that, and he also just pulled off a batshit crazy plan and it worked.
There's also another point, it's basically like, when Michael was still in the away team and that, he was still fulfilling his duty as an exo. Michael gone through the portal, life signs are missing and that.
That's a great point.
Changes it to a rescue operation.
And
that's
he's
when you take
technically
control.
captain at that point because she's missing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great point, Hawk. Well done. Well done. So yeah, we can't talk about Raynor, even though Draft already did, along with Stamets. Got you. And their batshit crazy plan to basically blow through the Dreadnought's massive cargo bay area, getting some awesome action sequences, and overall just amazing dialogue between, I'll say it again, and maybe a bit more interesting bridge crew. What do we think about Worf's favorite maneuver, ramming speed, being used here? And I didn't put an outline, but also a really cool way to show how these 32nd century ships can like modularize, like bookship, and put pieces where they need to go for a certain thing. Giraffe. I know you already kind of talked about it,
I
but
thought it was cool.
yeah.
I'm here for this. I mean, again, makes no sense, but why not? For what it's worth, I don't know, because they're on a red directive, right? And they're like, they really need to get that thing. And they're like, I'm gonna throw the whole ship inside of a cargo bay. And maybe we're not all gonna die. And I'm like, what happens if you all die? What happens? What do we do next? So yeah, but I like the fact that the bridge crew is kind of skeptical, being, we're doing what now?
Yeah.
Deadmare would have been, let's go.
Yeah.
We're not even think twice, but just driving the ship inside of a cargo bay. But yeah, I just want to see Deadmare and Oshikun's wedding.
Yeah, I'd like to see
Yeah.
that too. Yeah. MC.
Yeah, I mean, this is batshit, but it was awesome. Like, I mean, I don't even know, like, I don't understand what happened, but it was fucking cool. I mean, we've been talking a lot about the bridge crew this episode, and one thing I note, and I don't, forgive me if this character had been mentioned before, but like, I mean, like, the bridge crew has changed a lot, and for some reason, just this episode, I noticed one of the bridge crew is named Commander Jameson.
We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
I was
We
like,
did?
you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so as soon as I heard that, I was just like, okay, I have a total headcanon now of just like this long ancestry with everybody in working in space. I love it. So yeah, like this is crazy, but this is episode 9 of the end of the series is exactly when batshit things should be happening. So like this was the most episode 9 thing other than Michael jumping into the portal that happens in this episode.
Yep. Agreed. Hawk.
This is why you have Frakes directing this episode, when you need something to crash into something big crashing into something big, and that
Or something throwing something at something else. Also,
then you need Jonathan Frakes. It looked awesome. It was yes, absolutely batshit crazy and that. But at that point, part of me wonders about Raynor and that. It's maybe part of it was also like, okay, if we can do this, cool and that, but also thinking like, if this doesn't work and that, we do not want the Breen to have this technology. So yeah, part of his instincts, old instincts kicking in there too, I think. But regardless, it worked. It was, and it was it was lovely looking sequence.
Yeah. Gene wrote, watching Discovery spin like a deranged pizza cutter and everything going boom was fun. I really liked some continuity, like the phasers coming out of Discovery didn't sound like 23rd century phasers anymore. They sounded like TNG era-ish phasers with a little bit of other, like, I don't know. The sound effects were cool. The visual effects were cool. I could nerd out about ship stuff, but then Giraffe would leave. So I won't. I know.
I barely understand anything that's going on when it comes to a ship. I'm just like, sure, this is a thing that ships can do because why not?
It's in space.
On a
It's
side
in
note,
space. Pew 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 pew.
on a side note, how exciting is it that we go from Frakes directing this episode to the next episode of Star Trek that he's directing, at least that we know of? I don't know if he's directing any Lower Decks. Is a Hollywood murder mystery on Strange New Worlds. Like, I'm very excited for that episode.
How do we know that?
Because he
When
said
do
it.
we
He
know-
said it.
Since when do we know that?
He said that
What is
because he
that?
said it in an interview in Variety. We made an Instagram post about it a while ago.
I stopped reading. Articles about Star Trek because if I have to read one more
About the
article
Kelvinverse
about
and
Star
Kelvin
Trek
movie?
movies,
Oh my
that
god.
are all more unhinged than the precedent, I can't. They need to stop.
You're not
They
wrong.
Need to stop.
You're not
They
wrong.
need to stop.
I'm suing for custody at this point. Like seriously.
Saru's back, but whoopsie, leave it again. Saru returns to Starfleet HQ in our last bullet point tonight here, and a reunion with Torina, only to be informed that Primarch Tahal is also headed towards Disco and the Progenitor tech. With Tahal not answering President Rillick's hails, Saru volunteers to take a shuttle to intercept Tahal and her fleet to attempt negotiations because Saru's being a badass ambassador. Saru and Torina's farewell is just like, honestly, squad goals, in my opinion. Just one of mutual respect, and then that little chin tap that she does, so adorable. Thoughts on Saru and Torina and all of this, Jeff?
Again, I'm very glad that it's not my ship or it's not my main
Yeah.
romantic interest in Discovery because I can't imagine the people that were very attached to this, how they're feeling because it's episode 9. And they've been teasing us about a wedding since episode 1. And there's still nothing. And it must be very frustrating. On my hand, I mean, I was here for the Vulcan logic extremis thing, which, you know,
Fizzled out.
now it's episode 9, so nobody cares apparently. They just like teased a bunch of like interesting plot and told us no, we're gonna go and talk to God. And it's okay. Why not?
What does God need with a wedding?
What does God needs with a weapon from
The
I don't
chase?
know, weird TNG episodes. So at this point, I feel it's just or pushing it to just be the finale or just they're gonna murder somebody or something like that. Like I don't understand why it gets. We need to leave again. We need to leave again. It's kind of manufactured drama and yeah. I mean, again, I'm not super interested in it. Like
That's
I
fair.
like
You don't have
but
to be.
it's not
Yeah.
my thing. But
Yeah.
I'm like, they're doing dirt. They're doing a lot of fans dirty on this because
Fair.
it became very important to a lot of people watching that show. Yeah, see that one.
Go off, MC.
Okay, first of all, who do I have to bribe to get news Esta around here? Like, who do I have to bribe to get a Vulcan finger kiss? Like Saru with
They
those
don't
long
do that
fingers.
anymore because they're also Romulans now, so the culture has shifted.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so, but it just would be so nice with Saru with those really long fingers to have them do the Vulcan finger kiss together. It'd be that's so cute.
MC, you're spicy tonight.
I am really tired. I wasn't actually trying to be spicy there. I was trying to I think it's a very cute visual. But I'd live for these two, Saru and Torina. But I agree with Giraffe that they're keeping these two, like, not having them get married because they want to keep you on the edge of your seat thinking, oh, they might do something with Saru. You know, he's one day away from retirement or whatever. But yeah. And yeah. I was glad to see Saru back. And Torina, I think, out of all of the people in Discovery, is the person that I might have to do cosplay for.
She's amazing. Yeah. Oh, man. Hawk.
Doug Jones back. We had to have him back. And yes, I agree. It's a little bit like, you know, one day a week before retirement. He's getting too old for this shit. But you knew, you know, Doug Jones, he's been there from the beginning, so he had to come back. Finger kissing protection. What? Sorry.
That's amazing.
I had it just here. I had to. Sorry.
And that's why we love you, Giraffe.
Thank you. They're real. You can actually use them.
I want to know what the hell is going on.
There we go.
Here we go.
I don't know if Doug Jones is going to miss dressing up as Saru in that, but I am going to miss looking at him on screen in that because, like, his costume is probably one of the best achievements in Star Trek, and that just like the way it framed the eyes and that in during that conversation. It's like, you know, you get lost in those damn things. They just look so damn good. Yes, so they set him up to not return to action, or, you know, to be, you know, he is helping like Michael. It is his ship and that, but I'm glad they didn't throw him into the action of that mix and that, instead focusing on, you know, using him in his new life and his new job and that, which is an ambassador. And well, we can only wait and see. I hope they kind of showcase what this new pathway drive is, because I don't think we've actually seen it in action, have we?
Don't get me started.
Okay.
No, really, like, I hate this. This has nothing to do with the episode, but like, I hate this. They're like, well, we're shuttering the Spore Drive program, even though it's cool and it works and it's the future and it would be the perfect platform for this future that they're in. They're like, we're gonna go with the pathway drive, and then we don't see the fucking pathway drive. Like, where's the pathway drive? Have you seen it? I haven't seen it. Is it in the exhaust port of the fucking Breen Dreadnought? I don't know. Like, fuck off with the pathway drive and just give every ship a fucking Spore Drive. It's mushrooms. Grow some fucking mushrooms. I have a lot of anger about this.
It's mushrooms.
It's a renewable energy.
God, exactly. Like, get rid of the dilithium and grow some fucking mushrooms. Sorry, Hawk.
No worries. I'm good.
Well, the only thing that I want to say about this is everybody in the chat is loving Saru's costume. And one of the things that I love so much about Saru's costume here is the neckline of it and how you see more of the makeup detail from Saru's just everything. And it just like, it adds another layer. And I thought that was really cool. I love these two. They're adorable. I can't wait if there's a wedding or what. Like, I don't know. I just want to. I love them, and
You just love love.
I just love love. I am a shipping whore, and I love these two. That's it. Final thoughts on this one. We will go in the reverse order. Hawk.
Criticisms aside, I still love this episode and that. I thought it was pretty sharp and that, you know, it's like it didn't, you know, it didn't waste his time and that, and it, you know, got down to setting us up for the finale. You know, job well done. Great job with the cast and crew and the writing. Loved it.
Nice. MC?
I mean, I could complain about anything. We all know this, but it was fine.
Yeah.
Yep. Giraffe?
I mean, same. Great episode 6 episodes. I'm very stressed. I mean, I can say that when I watched episode 9, I was very stressed about how are they gonna end that whole thing in one episode. So yeah, it's, I don't know. They're making us sweat. Let's say that.
I think it's the weather for me right now.
Well, there's that too. But yeah, no, like I remember I finished this and I was like, I just remember like what you had said because Giraffe. I think this is a monumental moment for the podcast. By the way, I think for the first,
Dying.
I am. Give me 1 second, guys. I think for the first time, since we've started getting screeners as a podcast, Giraffe actually got ahead of me. And I watched
the finale before everybody.
I was shocked. But then again, like it's your favorite show.
Episode 9, yeah.
So
listen. This season is stressing me out. It's like it's literally the finale of one of my favorite show ever, and they chose to make it around one of my most dreaded episode of Star Trek ever. So, I need to know.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't really have much else to say on that. We will obviously find out next week. Some people have heard some rumors about things. I don't even think we're allowed to share those details, so we're not going to say anything.
We will not confirm or deny anything.
Yep.
Just
just
you
tune
will
in
have
next
to
week.
wait. Tune in next week. For now, though, we are going to get into the subspace to poll at Mailbag.
Lieutenant Christopher, open a channel.
Channel's open.
Who's taking the to poll?
Giraffe.
Hit it.
Okay. Subspace to poll and Mailbag. We asked Trek Twitter what they thought about Lagrange Point. And this is what they had to say. 61% said, let's do this. 32% said, Breen means go. 7% said, mulling along. And 0% says, exhausting. We're good. I like this one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one cracked me up.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think it's good numbers.
it is good.
Yeah,
Zero,
very good.
Zero didn't hate it, so that's good. That's always good. MC, can you continue with Eric the Red's mailbag, please?
Eric the Red wrote, this episode gets the Breen light for me. A good episode that does an interesting job of flipping between the larger political diplomacy between the Breen and the Federation and Discovery's actual mission. It was nice to see Action Saru again and navigating his relationship with Torina. The mission to infiltrate the Breen ship feels classic Trek, as well as the crew on board figuring out a way to retrieve them. Rayner and Tilly have some great moments and banter and show how much Rayner has grown with the crew. Going to be interesting how Michael solves the last riddle of the puzzle. I'm eagerly anticipating and dreading the finale. Let's do this.
Nice. And Hawk, can you take Techno Dave's, please?
Sure. Techno Dave wrote, while the end of the episode was not as tense as I thought it would have been, it was a decent episode overall. But to be the penultimate episode for the end of the season and the series, I give it a B-. Tilly had some great lines, like when she was talking to Rayner, saying the crew was trusting him, even though it's been a bit of a road to get there. Groan. But her holy schnoodle comment was from left field. Gave a moment of levity in a tense moment without losing the intensity. Moll was sharp as a tack, picking up on what the crew was trying to pull off. Two Takes Frakes does another splendid job directing. I am intrigued and excited to see how well they get themselves out of the sticky jam they found themselves in.
Nice. I will take CBFs, who wrote, the thing about oil baths is the anticipation of them is usually better than the actual bath. Still, you have to always thank the maker beforehand, or so I've been told by someone fluent in over 6 million forms of communication. I really should have done that in an Anthony Daniels accent, but too late. After spending too much time on desert planets this season, it was great to finally get some of our thirst quenched with this week's episode. Things moved along at a great pacing despite what Tilly says. Before we knew it, the credits were rolling, and we have but one more episode left in our saga. It wouldn't be an Imperial superweapon infiltration mission without leaving behind one of your crew. Try not to have too much anxiety about waiting a week to see where they are taking this thing. Well read. I love that, by the way, CBF. Well done. Back to you, Draft. Can you take Matt Harker's, please?
Matt Harker wrote, so it's time we face facts. We may only see Oshikun and Detmer at the wedding. I thought this episode was pretty decent, but I agree with those that feel like it should have had. God, come on. It's many little words. Okay. I agree with those that feel it should have had more of a punch. I'd have to say my favorite part of this week was Torina and Saru. My least favorite part being the book Burnham I'm sorry scene that felt totally out of place, as did Adira's hesitance on the bridge. You have a red directive, people. I'm glad we didn't lose Rhys and hope we get one last scene with Vance. Next week has a lot of loose ends to tie up, and I look forward to seeing Paradise and crew pull it off. Let's fly. 7.5 out of 10 for me.
Very nice, very nice. And MC, can you take the Kakos, please?
Taco wrote, I love the tension on the Breen ship with the disco team's infiltrated. Also the humor relief moments, book and the oil bath. Jen Reese for captain, please, but maybe security officer first. The Burnham book moment could have been done more naturally. Chili Rayner convo was hilarious. Rayner finally sits in the captain's chair. Heart.
Nice. Hawk, you take ADHD. It's Ernesto's. Can you read Ernesto's mailbag, please?
ADHD EC wrote, so happy to see Saru back in this episode, and it's a Frakes episode. I'm not sure I like him going on a mission alone with only one episode left. However, it was great to see Saru give Dougie Huggies. Dougie Huggies. Sorry. How did I pronounce that? Dougie.
Dougie Hauser, MD.
Dougie Huggies to Torina. Adira's first away mission. Very cool. Michael, was this the right moment to talk to Book about the vision?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, if you think you're gonna die, do it before before you actually die. Come on.
Yeah. I did like the throwback role play, and obviously it still works. The theories about that Breen being non or Locke kind of got blown out the airlock. The MacGuffin they've been chasing turns out to be a portal. Okay. The tech created the two black holes. Okay. And did anyone not think Michael was going into the portal as soon as we found out what it was? It's too bad Boyd Miller isn't around. He loves portals. All in all, how are they going to tie this all up? We'll see next week.
Indeed, we will. And I will close us out with Tara's two limericks. 509 Lagrange Point. Discovery jumps to a space that is between. The cylindrical puzzle awaits until it's snagged by the Breen. Away teams in disguise will infiltrate. Satrina will once more have to wait. But Michael's now missing in a dimension unseen. And then for 508 Labyrinths, Disco arrives at the Badlands to find. The puzzle is now a labyrinth of the mind. For Michael to solve, her subconscious must evolve. And Book is given a gift for all Quajon kind.
Nice one.
That was beautiful. I love that one. Thank you, Tara. Thank you, chat, for keeping it hopping all night. We're there, folks. I can't believe we got to say it.
One more week.
The finale of Star Trek Discovery next Thursday, 9:30 p.m. We will be here. We'll start this all off at 6 p.m. Eastern with our evening of Discovery.
3 p.m. Pacific time.
Giraffe will be here at some point. Bring a tissue box. We're going to get emotional. It's going to be a great night. So we will see you then. For MC, for Giraffe, for Hawk, I am Julian. Live long and prosper. Maj Ram. Go through a portal tonight. We love you. Good night.
Thanks for beaming into our podcast today. If you want to keep the hailing frequencies open, you can subscribe on Apple and Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Like what you hear? Put in a good word with Starfleet and leave us a 5-star review.